The smaller, the better. Well, that's according to the numbers game that the motor industry currently is playing. Engine size, fuel figures, and obviously CO2. The smaller they are, the better the car is. But Peugeot is hoping that their new 208 is going to buck that trend with some really big numbers when it comes to sales. So let's get to grips with Peugeot's new 208. What is significant right up front is that it's running on a new platform from the company. Platform 1 is what it's called, and this is for all their new models that are going to be compact, light and spacious. Also significant is that the Peugeot Citroën Group is focused on a new era of small, high-efficient petrol engines. The model we're driving today is the first of a kind, the EV2 engine. It's a 3-cylinder, 1.2 litre engine. You get inside, it's got that pretty cool 3-cylinder sound. Make no mistake, I got it and I was like, wow, this sounds like a funky old race car. But the reason that Peugeot have gone with this is that it's compact and it's light. This 3-cylinder engine is 21 kilograms lighter than the equivalent 1.2 litre 4-cylinder engine. So this is about making this car as light as possible. And the 1.2 that we are in weighs 975 kilograms. It's a light car. And that's why the 1.2 with 60 kilowatts, 180 Newton meters is able to make this car move, because light, efficient motoring is what it's all about. They also have a 1.6, an engine that's been around for a while, but it has been completely reworked. So if you're looking for a bit more vummer, that's going to give it to you with 88 kilowatts. But driving around town for the last couple of days, as we have been in the 1.2, on the reef, it does require a little bit of massaging of the right foot, especially pulling away. I think this is the sort of car that people are going to find themselves stalling quite easily, because it does require revs to get going. But once it's going, the engine's very happy to rev. Even with luggage and passengers, it certainly gets about town with no hassle, no problem whatsoever. It's not a dynamic handler. I know Peugeot's going to tell you that the handling has improved. For me, it's a pretty soft, wallowy type of ride. But that's exactly what you want. You don't want teeth-chattering motoring in a vehicle that's designed to get you from A to B very comfortably around town. So the whole idea behind downsizing is obviously to save you money at the fuel tanks, and also on CO2 emissions, to ensure the company is scoring lots of points from a green perspective. And this is where Peugeot have done a great job, because this car is very green. What I mean by that is the entire bumper is made at the back out of recycled material. And the same thing applies to the radiator frame as well as the radiator fan, complete recycled material. So this is where Peugeot is setting themselves apart, because no other manufacturers can stake claim to that. But from a CO2 perspective, in the 1.2 that we're driving, there's no extra money that you have to pay, because it only has 104 grams per kilometer. That's way below the 120 required in SA at the moment. The 1.6 is just above at 130 odd. So these cars are super efficient. They claim in the 1.2, 4.5 litres per 100 on a combined cycle, and the 1.6 it jumps up to 5.8. In the time that we've been driving it around, that 4.5 is very, very achievable. In terms of styling, I probably find the 208 one of the more mature and sophisticated contenders on the market. Nothing over the top, nothing loud and sporty and go faster about it. Just very sophisticated and nice attention to detail, which is what you expect from the French. The rear taillights, for example, when illuminated, they've gone with a boomerang design, but they've got their little design feature with the 3 claws that come through when it's lit up. So you know that's part of the Peugeot family. I like the way they've pulled the front headlights around, and the new grille is pretty interesting as well. So nothing too hectic, nothing too wild and exciting, but just some really good styling put together on the 208. For me, the real thrill is when you get inside the car, because they've gone with a whole new layout from a dash perspective. They've actually raised the instrument cluster for the driver, so it's closer to eye level when you are steering, and they've given it a kind of floating feature. So everything is well laid out, very spacious. The fit and finish for me is really impressive. Even though they're using plastics, the plastics are well put together. They look good value, and even the cloth they've used on the seats, good quality as well. So if you want to get your hands on a 208, the entry level 1.2 comes your way at 155,000. The one that we're driving in is 170,000, and then top of the range when you go to the 1.6 is coming up at the 190 mark. Well priced when you look at what you are getting standard in this car. So it really is a numbers game for manufacturers in this segment. Fiercely competitive, lots of choice for consumers. For me, the 208, the features that I like, incredibly well spec'd and really well put together. The quality of the fit and finish really for me sets it apart from its competitors. I know there's obviously still that negativity around the Peugeot brand and French brands in general, but it does come with a 5-year 60,000 premium plan and a 3-year 100,000 warranty. And priced from 150 up to 190,000, it's playing in the right ballpark from a figures perspective there. I really like the car. It's got a little bit more of a mature sophistication about the styling. The ride is pretty good, and not having to pay CO2 tax and obviously your fuel consumption figures, it's going to start making a lot of sense when you are counting rands and cents.